Main thing that we're working on right now after we get the orange box out the door is going to be episode 3, so we can finish off this trilogy and finish the story arcs that the characters are going through.
That is the topic at hand in this video, and the reason why we are talking about it is because of some recent developments in the last 2 days with regards to Half-Life 3. Be sure to drop a like to show your support, especially if you are a big fan of the Half-Life series like me. I love it. And leave a comment with your thoughts right now if you know what I'm talking about, or at the end of the video when you've seen what we are about to talk about. Let's start off this video with a background with regards to myself and the Half-Life series. Half-Life 1, 1998, I remember getting it and really enjoying it. It was a lot of fun. Why am I speaking like this? I played through the game, I found it very difficult, but I found the story very engaging, the gameplay mechanics were revolutionary. Overall, it was absolutely awesome, and then a few years later, Half-Life 2 was released. One of my favourite games of all time, kind of like Half-Life 1, but it's always Half-Life 2 that sticks out in my head. The physics, again, the story, everything for the time, it was just insane. And then after that we had Half-Life Episode 1 and Half-Life Episode 2. And of course, we were promised a Half-Life Episode 3. It's a bit confused at this point, but something like that. The years go by, we never get them. The rumours, the rumour mill, everything's churning, nothing concrete. Portal, Portal 2, all these other games are coming out. Valve are taking the company in different directions. It's all a bit of a mess, in regards to Half-Life anyway, because we don't really know what's going on. People are beginning to lose faith, lose hope, including myself. Well, not really, but as in, it just kind of goes out of your head and you just start thinking, is this game, or are these games, Half-Life Episode 3 and Half-Life 3, are they ever going to come out? Anyway, so that is it for the first portion of this video. My background with regards to the series, big fan, essentially, love them. And now, let's move on to the main part of this video. Half-Life 3, there have been some developments with regards to it in the last couple of days. I will leave all relevant links in the description box so you can do your own research and also interpret what has happened in your own way. But let me just explain essentially the bare bones of what has happened and my take on them. So, the lead writer for Half-Life has a Twitter account and a website or a blog. And the other day, he tweeted out something pretty darn interesting. He tweeted out like a script or like a story, well, it was a letter written from the perspective of Gordon Freeman to us, the players. The names were changed of like specific characters and like entities in the game. I don't know why that is, kind of confuses me. This whole thing actually confuses me quite a bit, but regardless, what this lead writer of Half-Life tweeted out was a letter from Gordon Freeman to us that essentially functions as a potential plotline for Half-Life Episode 3 or Half-Life 3. I think Half-Life Episode 3, not entirely sure, do the research yourself. And so I heard about this early in the morning and then I looked at it myself, and yeah, it definitely seems as a potential storyline that could have made sense for the Half-Life franchise. Why is this being tweeted out now? Some people are saying it's because the NDAs are up with regards to the original Half-Life stories. They had NDAs on them, now those are up 10 years later. Something like that. Because you can assume, right, that this guy would not be able to put this stuff into the public, even with the names changed, unless he was legally allowed to, because otherwise Valve would wreck him. And also, on top of the fact that you can assume that he would not be able to put this out otherwise, without permission or something like that, the story is in line with what you could kind of imagine happening in Half-Life. And of course, he is or was one of the lead writers for the Half-Life franchise. And that, everybody, about sums up what has come out over the last 2 days in a shorthand version from my perspective. Remember to do your own research. I'll put the link to that guy's tweet in the description box, and then you can kind of go from there. And now, moving on to a third and final part to this video, a sort of conclusion with regards to whether we think that this is the truth, and if Half-Life 3 has officially been confirmed, Episode 3 has officially been confirmed, and in a way has been confirmed as never going to happen. Yes, that is correct. If you read the letter that the guy wrote from Gordon Freeman's perspective, and also just take it for what it is, essentially that the story is coming out on a website through Twitter because we are probably never going to see it in a game. That is what a lot of people think that this means, that Half-Life 3, Episode 3, they are officially confirmed as not being developed anymore, and we will never see them make it to the market. We will never get to play them. What do you think? Remember to let me know in the comment section. Me, personally, I find it hard to believe that we will never see a Half-Life Episode 3 or a Half-Life 3. Probably because I'm such a fan of the series, and I also think that Valve, I mean, I find it hard to believe that Gaben and maybe the senior, like, oldest, well, there aren't, let's not get into that. The oldest people, the longest running members of that team, I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't want to eventually make the game, but that's maybe me being too romantic. The logical side of me doesn't really know how to take this. This guy, you assume that he was allowed to kind of put this stuff out there, but was he? The story sounds legit. I don't know. My mind is a mess. I'm just a big fan of this series. I don't know what could happen next. What do you think? Crazy that this guy, the lead writer, has put this out there. And if you read through the letter properly, the details are crazy. Like, it sounded like it could, it sounds like it could have been an absolutely sick game. Like, I'm running through the sequences that happen in that guy's letter, that guy's kind of script, and it's like, damn, this could have been such a sick title. Either way, I don't know. And that is the end of this video. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I'm genuinely very interested to hear all of you guys' thoughts on this matter. I will see you all in the next video. Much love, everybody, and peace.